Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Curve-Unplugged. This is Coach Keish. We are going to get started here, and tonight we're talking about love and loss, relationships, and girl, are you just too much? So, tonight in the studio, Nikki Dollars is in the house. Hey, Nikki.
Hey, everybody.
Have you gotten your hurricane supplies?
I have gotten all my hurricane supplies and my Keebler Toll House crackers, so I'm good right now.
Good, all right. We're also joined tonight by Monica. Monica, please correct me if I pronounce your last name wrong. Is it Farrell?
I'm sorry, you have to repeat that. I don't know what's going on, but you're going in and out, and so I missed some of that.
Okay, Monica, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right, please introduce yourself.
Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Monica Farrell. I am a dating and relationship coach for professional Black women to break the pattern of broken relationships so that they can get the love that they really want and deserve.
Awesome. Well, this is going to be great tonight while we're talking about it. Girl, are you too much? So, guys, for those of you who are tuned in and who are listening and watching, please share your comments. We will be responding to your comments. So right down below, there's a comment box. Put your comments in so we can, engage in a conversation tonight, because we're going to have some raw truth. And ladies, sometimes we just need to tell it just like it is. And you can count on your girls right here at the Curve-Unplugged to do exactly that.
Yes, you can. Hey, Stefan, glad you're back with us, boo.
Yeah. Hey, Stefan. Now, Monica, before we get started, have you gotten all your hurricane supplies? Are you ready? Gassed up?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Hey, Lavita.
Hey, Lavita.
So, I think I'm ready. But every time I turn on the news, I feel like there's something else I need to get. I don't know what that other new thing is, but I think I'm good. I have my canned goods. I have my graham crackers. I got enough water.
You know what I don't have? I don't have a flashlight.
I hope you at least have candles.
I have candles. I do have candles.
Okay. So you good then. You good. And what else do I think I need? I feel like Krispy Kreme should have a special going on. Like a buy two dozen free. Because that would get us through the next couple of days.
That's some fat girl-ish, y'all. That's just some fat girl-ish. You want some Krispy Kreme donuts during a hurricane.
Well, you tend to get a sweet tooth at the wrong time when you really can't do anything.
You got all that energy and you can't do nothing because you're stuck in the house.
Well, I could organize I have like a bunch of DVDs.
So what if the lights go out?
Oh, wait, you guys, I'm kicked out. I can't see anything. I don't know what's going on.
You can't hear?
Can you hear, Monica?
No, she said she can't. She can't hear.
Okay.
So, well, hopefully we'll get our technical difficulty. Please bear with us tonight. We conversation tonight. So I'm hoping that, and maybe we're glitching already with our internet connections because the impeding storm. Because today the weather just got bad, like this afternoon, for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Did it get bad on your end as well?
I don't see me, and I don't see or hear anything.
It got really bad where I was. It was like storming for at least an hour. I mean, just nonstop. I was like, they said it was going to be here on Friday, but it's Wednesday.
And it already appears to be here.
For at least an hour. I mean, just
so
nonstop.
Yeah, this is scary. This is getting to be a little scary. I wasn't here for the last major storm we had, which was about 25 years ago. That was Andrew. We were away at college, so I don't know what I might not be doing right. And I know a lot of people have been putting up posts about, they live in apartment complexes or condominiums, and they don't, and their associations or their leasing offices have told them that they are not going to put up any shutters to the windows. Well, there's a reason behind it, ladies and gentlemen, and that reason is because it becomes a hazard.
Okay, so you guys can see and hear.
If a fire should break out, and you become trapped in your apartment or your condo, your townhome, and they are the ones that put those shutters up, then they're held liable for it. So they offer you an opportunity to do it yourself, but the reason they are not doing it is for liability reasons. So be safe, not sorry. Don't take for granted that if your complex is not putting up shutters, that means that the storm is really not coming and it's really not that serious.
They don't care. That's what that means.
That's what you think?
They want to get their insurance check. And yeah, that's what that means.
That is not what it means. It's a lot. We're not going to do this tonight with you. It's a liability issue, and they do not want to take liability on them. You can root up your pretty little lipstick and everything. Are you wearing Brick House?
Why? Certainly, my dear.
Oh, okay. It's really, really pretty. I like it.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start the conversation. I know most of you have seen this video floating around with Kiki Wyatt, who she has a beautiful voice. Like, I love hearing her sing.
Yeah.
But there's been a video floating around of her talking about her husband, her now husband. His name is Michael Jamar. I'm so sorry. Her husband he's a pastor now, right? He's an
ordained minister.
And apparently, allegedly, he has asked her for a divorce. He told her he just wants out. So she put up a video and she's saying to him and to the world, like, listen, this guy, he's not right. I can't believe he's doing this. We have all these kids together. And he's saying that I'm crazy and I'm too much and he wants out of this marriage. So she took to Instagram, Facebook with this, and the whole world exploded. So you've seen R&B Divas, right, Nikki?
Mm-hmm.
Monica, are you with us?
I think so. It's kind of staticky. I can't see anything, but I can hear you guys, so I'm listening.
Okay, we can definitely see and hear you.
We can see and hear you.
Hey, Alexis, glad you joined us tonight.
So let's, if you've watched R&B Divas, then you should be familiar with Kiki Wyatt. If you don't remember her from the show R&B Divas, she has been, most memorably paired with Avant on a lot of hits. First Love, Nothing in the World, You and I, which is like one of my favorite songs. Mm-hmm. And what do you think, Nikki? What do you think about the video? What do you think about what she put in the video?
Well, because I've seen her on R&B Divas and I've seen her and Michael on Marriage Boot Camp, she's always been too much. I know that she has a lot of baggage. She, just from watching R&B Divas, she never trusted him. She never trusted him because of what happened in her first relationship where her husband cheated on her. And I think he was abusive. So she stabbed him. So she was incarcerated for a couple of years. And I remember from the show, he could not go anywhere and she couldn't go anywhere unless he was there. Everywhere they went, the girls will always complain because if they planned a girls' night or whatever, Michael had to come. And I guess at some point, for purposes of videoing, he wouldn't actually be in the scene, but he was off site. He was off camera in the room somewhere. So she's always had an issue with that. And you can tell she's always had an issue. She's always been a lot to handle. She's always been a lot. And I heard a lot of people initially drag him like, oh, that's so sad. She's 8 months pregnant. She has 7 other kids and they have one child with leukemia. It's just, why could he do this to her? And while I do think it could be, it's messed up. It seems, I'm looking on the outside like, wow, he had to leave her now. She's 8 months pregnant, but we don't know the ins and outs. But all I can say, when you've had enough, you've simply had enough. And sometimes it's not the most opportune time, but when you've had enough, you've had enough. He's even responded, finally. He did a video. He was very calm, cool, and collected. And he said he loves her. He really loves her, but he can no longer be in a relationship with her because it is toxic. and it is affecting their children. And he can no longer do that with her.
Wow.
He needs help, and he knows that she can get the help that she needs with prayer and with everything, but he cannot
continue.
Yeah.
Watching the show, R&B Divas, what I saw with her is that this was a very hurt, very broken woman.
Yes.
Coming into a relationship with a man who loved her and who wanted to fill the gaps, like stand in the gap, per se, for her. But at the same token, I think there is a such thing as just being too much. First of all, there was a lot of healing I think she needed before she entered into this relationship with him. Because from what I could tell, and again, like you said, we don't know the ins and outs, but from what I could tell, this guy truly loves her. He truly loves her. But shocks that he lasted this long. I don't think that I could have endured that relationship with her, the way her insecurities and her fears, the way they just...
She's abusive.
It does turn into an abusive situation when someone just can't get over anything. She cannot move past anything. And the fact that if he got a phone call, she grabbed the phone. If his friends wanted to hang out with him, the answer was no. There was no ifs, ands, buts, maybes. Wherever she was, lunch with the girls, she was the man in the room. The guy never had any space to breathe, And I get that when you've been hurt in other relationships, you're trying desperately not to fall into that same situation in a new relationship. But you're bringing that poison to your new relationship.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks to me. It appears, not having all the ins and outs, but it appears that relationship was poisoned by all of her fears and insecurities.
Yeah, it was. And I agree with you. I am really surprised he lasted this long. I remember everyone joking about, he's gay and he's this, because he was really her doormat. Whatever she did, and it irks, just personally, it irks me when people put their hands in my face. They're it just does something to me. And she's always doing that to him, slapping him in the face. And I'm like, oh my, and he just looks at her but she's very, and I know she's pregnant, so I'm sure she's always over the top, but she is truly over the top at this point. And for her to bring it on social media and then to hear his response, that makes me even look even crazier, because he was just like, I love Kiki. I love her. I can't do it anymore.
What really bothered me when I watched the video was the fact that it did not appear that she even saw the fact that
she's a victim.
She contributed to this, that she had any fault in the matter. It appeared to me that in her world, she was and will always be the victim in this situation, in every situation.
Yeah.
And, when I think about this show tonight and talking about, are you too much? Now the fact that he cheated comes out, or he is cheating, or whatever, which could be another one of her insecurities. And she's jumping to conclusions, and apparently he must be cheating if he doesn't want to be with me anymore. That could be it. And maybe he is cheating. I don't know. But the cheating has become the focal point of the situation. And it appears to me that it's more than obvious that there's more to this than the fact that he cheated. The cheating, prime example of how cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem, but their relationship has been troubled for I don't even know why he kept getting her pregnant. I don't know why you kept.
Exactly. I know. I'm like, okay, after child number 2, you realize that something is not right. I don't think the additional children was going to make it better. If you saw that at child number 1, you saw it at child number 2, number 6, number 7. You saw that. So I don't understand that mentality. I don't know what was going on, the dynamics behind that. And maybe it was her. Maybe I think she said she wanted to have a really big family.
Right.
So but oh my gosh, this is awful. And, I heard people make comments, well, this is what you do when you're married, you're supposed to work it out. But you don't know what they've been doing. I know when they were on R&B Divas, they did go to counseling, and she went to counseling separately, and they went together. They were on marriage boot camp. And she would say things to him like, won't you go kill yourself? Won't you just die? Go float in the river. And after a while, you know, when you just, one of my sins is that even a mat gets worn. Mm-hmm. And again, this may not be the most opportune time, but when you've had enough and you're up to your wits' end, it's just it. And you can tell by his video, he's just done. He's done. Absolutely done. I think from what he said, he's done all that he can. Now he realizes he can absolutely do no more. And she has to take responsibility and make a change for herself.
I agree, because even as women, a lot of us have been in relationships with people that you believe, if I stick in here, that I love them, I'm here for them, I'm supporting them, I'm in this for the long haul, I'm trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
If you just keep consistent and showing them that I'm here with you, that at some point they're just going to get it. Like the lights are going to come on and they're going to say, oh yeah, I got somebody really. But
right.
You can't make someone see that.
No.
You can only do your best and hope that, you know, they get it, that they do see the value in making this relationship, this marriage work. But if they don't want to, at some point, like you said, a mat gets worn and tired. People get time to say, I'm done.
Yeah.
True opportunity to say, I have had enough of, but at some point, you got to just say, I'm done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And again, you know, it's probably not the most opportune time, but sad to say, it just is what it is at this point. You know, he did reiterate that he's going to continue to take care of the kids because he's been there, but because he loves her, he can no longer do that with her, be married to her. And it's sad. And I don't know if she has any real, because she doesn't like to let people in. And so now her biggest thing is, you see why I don't let people in and why I have my wall up. No, but this is not why. This man has been with you 8 years or 9 years, in 2010, I think. So 7 years. And
they had a baby every year, just about, that they've been together.
And 8 kids later, and you want to absolutely say, this is why. And I think that's a lot of our problems, women, ladies. Number one, we can't admit when we're wrong. You know, I think it takes a much stronger person who can admit their faults. And a lot of times especially if you're a strong woman and if you grew up in a household with strong women, that's a sign of weakness. So we don't know how to, in retrospect, look at things and say, maybe I was like arguing too much. Maybe I did talk too much. Maybe I wasn't listening enough, because it's always their fault. You know, like you said, I'm a good woman. You know, I cook, I clean, I have sex whenever he wanted. I'm cute. I'm keeping my body tight. I'm a good woman. How could he dare leave me? But this is why. You are the reason. You're the reason why he's leaving you. And
it really bothers me that that cheating automatically makes somebody a victim. Like, it automatically makes the woman or whomever, it automatically makes us the victim, when oftentimes you can look at the situation and see that there's just something amiss here. Like, there's just something amiss. And if I'm so convinced that my greatness as a woman is rooted in the things that I value in a relationship, and I don't bother to communicate with you to find out what do you value, what matters to you, so that we can come to a median and both of our needs are getting met, then the relationship suffers. Now, cheating, I'm not condoning anybody cheating, and I don't think it's okay. But I am saying that when we fail as a couple, we fail as a family, we fail as a unit, to come together and say, what is it that you need from me? And here's what I need from you. And we're both in agreement that your needs, while they may be different from mine, doesn't make them any less valid, any less important. And I'm willing to make some changes and some adjustments to how I always did it, or how my mama used to do it, in order to accommodate and have a successful relationship or marriage right here with you. Then a whole bunch of stuff is going to start happening. Somebody's going to get a secret bank account. Somebody's going to have an affair. Somebody's going to talk more to friends and outsiders than they are going to sit and talk to their mate. Because if I've tried talking to you, if I've tried communicating, if I've tried being affectionate, if I've tried even coming to you with concerns I have, and you don't want to hear me, you don't want to validate my feelings, then I'm going to go where I feel validated. Period.
Absolutely.
So there's no other place. There's no way to blame any one person when, and I'm not talking about serial cheaters, because let's be clear that some people, they just want everything that passed them by. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the destruction of marriages and households and families where communication is really lacking in that big picture. And we don't realize that all the tangible things that you can, all the tangible things you can provide, no matter how much money you make, no matter how big your home is, no matter how many cars you get to drive, if those foundational things are not being met, then the relationship suffers.
Yeah.
Period.
So
it just suffers.
Redona says, you can do that, but if the person is not mature or really loves you, it will always be one-sided. And I think that's what we're saying, Redona. At that point, I think it's your responsibility. If you've tried and you talked and you realize that this isn't working out, then you have to make the decision, is this where you want to stay? Because you're right, it can always be one-sided. And I agree with Karen, it takes two to make a relationship fail. But if you know you've done all you can do, at what point do you decide, do you want to stay or do you want to leave? We always have a choice. You always have a choice. You don't have to stay where you're unhappy, or you can. That is totally up to you. But at no point, if you decide to stay, already knowing that this person is immature, or you can't get through to them, that now you become the victim when it goes awry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Karen says it takes two wrongs when a relationship fails. Both involved contributes to the failure of the relationship. I agree with that. I totally 100% agree.
It does. It takes two in the demise. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes two of us. No matter what happens in this relationship, it takes two. Make anyone do or be anything that they're choosing not to do or be. But at the same token, how many of us can look inward and admit that if I thought I know what a quote good woman is, what a good man is, and this person didn't go down my checklist and they didn't meet everything. Well, I feel like I checked my own list. I'm great. I cook, I clean, I iron shirts. I make sure that you look good, smell good, feel good. We got this much money in the bank. That's what's important to me. All those things are met. Everything is good. And maybe your spouse or your significant other is saying, on Friday nights, I want time with just me and you. Put your cell phone down. Tell your homegirls not to call and don't be over here. This is just some me and you time. This is just some time for us to connect. And you like, what? I always have Friday nights with my girls or with my boys. What you mean? Oftentimes, a lot of us are not willing to bend for the healthy resolution to the issue that we're having in our relationship. And for those of you who, I don't know how many of you watch R&B Divas, but if you watched it and you saw for yourself that this woman was smothering the whole hell out this man. Like he could not breathe without her permission. And on his end, just like a lot of women,
You're breaking up. Gradona, we're on every week, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. You were breaking up, Coach.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me? No.
I can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay. I think that, when a person can even take a deep breath without your permission, how much of that are they supposed to take? Mm-hmm. How much? At what point do they get to say, I'm gonna breathe whether you like me? And that's just what it is. Like, I know we normally see that scenario turned around and it's a guy who's so controlling over a woman, and we would give that woman advice and say, listen, don't stay in this relationship with this man. That's abuse when he's trying to control your every move and your every breath. But there are women out there who do the absolute same thing.
Yeah. And, just like you said, what makes a person good is dependent on who you're with, because everybody's needs and wants are totally different. I've dated men who liked a woman cooking. I dated men that didn't care because they cooked or we could go out to dinner. So me saying to a man who just didn't care, well, I cook, he don't care. That don't make me a good woman to him because he could do without it. You can cook or we can come out. I don't care. So what is good to one person is not always good for the next person. And I know just in general, we were taught a good woman, quote unquote, cooks and cleans for her man, keeps the house clean, washes the clothes, and keeps his belly full. That's what a good woman does. So we weren't taught that a good woman, quote unquote, listens to her man, sits down and talks with her man. I wasn't. I can't speak for nobody else, but I wasn't taught that. Cook, clean, wash clothes, and of course, do your wifely duties in the bed. But all those other emotional things, I was never taught that. So growing up and being an adult and dating and bumping my head a lot of times, I realized that those are good qualities for some men and not so good qualities for other men. But does that negate my goodness? No. But does that negate whatever woman, maybe he doesn't want a woman who cook and clean? Does that mean, she's not a good woman because she don't cook and clean the house? Not at all. So we have to get out of that mind frame that because I do this, that makes me this awesome woman. And that's not taken away from your awesomeness, but not every man needs that type of awesomeness to be in a great relationship with you.
It's kind of like thinking that the process that you go through at one job works the same on every job. Payroll systems, how you clock in and out, if you have to clock in and out, what security do you need? You have a badge or not, or whatever the case may be, fingerprint. There's so many different ways to run a business and how you conduct yourself in a workplace setting. Why do we think that relationships are cookie cutter?
Right.
Because they're not. They're customized. Why would you want to go, we go to the store to shop and you look at a white blouse. Ladies, how many of you have a white blouse, but it's 4 different kind of white blouses? So you have the white blouse with the long tail in the back. You got the white blouse that's short sleeve. You got a white blouse with some lace in it. You got a white blouse with some embroidery. How many different white blouses do you have? How many different pairs of jeans do you own? How many different black skirts do you have? So even though all of them are black skirts, they're customized for a certain look, certain feel, and for you to wear it a certain way. That's the same thing goes for our relationship. Mm-hmm. We have to customize what works in this relationship. What works? Not grab my little bag of goodies and say, okay, my last relationship, let me see. Cooked, check. Clean, check. What I did? This iron the shirt, check. What's this? All right. Oh, sex. Check. Did that. Girl, you did that. All right. What's this? Oh, I took his mama shopping once a month. Damn it. Best woman in the world. Now, you meet another guy, you're going to gather up all this stuff and go back and say, okay, here I go. Here go my stuff. It's because this proves that I'm great. Mm-hmm. It proves you were great in that last relationship, in that last situation. And I even think we got to do away with the concept of what you did to get them is what you got to do to keep them. Because I think we've gotten that twisted. If we're in a relationship for a period of time, we're supposed to be evolving and growing. So that's other Friday, we headed to the club together. 20 years later, it may not be the same thing. It may not look the same way.
Right.
But that's what we did when we were younger. This is what we're doing now. We gotta just get out of that mindset that everything is just cookie cutter. I'm so good, I don't need to change a thing. I'm so great, I don't need to do nothing. No, you need to fix something because I'm good over here. If that's our mentality as women in relationships, you cannot grow. Your relationship cannot grow.
I agree with that. The only thing I will say is the part that I agree with, where if you started something, how you got me is how you finished, you know, is if you was buying me gifts. If you was buying me gifts when you got me, then you need to continue buying me gifts off the relationship. Like, that will not change. All this other stuff might change, but the gift part,
that's just because you spoiled. But if you get you one red rose every Friday, you just want that same one red rose for the rest of the Fridays till you die?
Gifts.
Or do you? No, you're saying gifts, but even gifts evolve.
Right.
So you bought me roses.
Right.
Right. So now, have we graduated to orchids? Have we graduated to something else? Have we graduated to being not just flowers?
Right, but the gift.
Damn rose. Every week.
Gift. Well, whatever it is, as long as it's a gift.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure that you're expecting even your gifts to get better with time.
Of course.
Okay, so same thing goes for the relationship. Don't think that same thing, that exact same thing, that same bowl of soup out the can that you made on day 2 when we was dating and I had a sore throat. Now here we are, you back in the kitchen 20 years later, warming up another can of goddamn soup.
But that might be cute, depending on what it is.
Well, good night.
It might be. I'm not saying every time I get sick, but you know, that brings back the nostalgia. Like, oh, my baby did this when we first met. Mm-hmm. That's so sweet.
But not you want
every week I would want that, but sometimes.
I think it is sweet every so often that they take you back a moment and remind you. Remember when this song was where we was at when this song played? What did you wear that night when we went to see this particular movie? I get the nostalgia of it all. But once again, that same thing, you don't even want him coming to the bedroom with that same one move for the next 20-some years. You want something different. At some point in time, you want things to grow. Or else, why do we date and then get married? You might as well get married on first sight. Because if you don't expect it to evolve into something more beautiful, something more amazing than what it was on day 1, a seedling, you're expecting this to into something more than that, right?
Yeah, and some people do get married on first sight. How does that work for them? I don't know. I don't know anyone who got married and it worked out for them. Really?
My grandparents met and were married in 2 weeks. They met, and 2 weeks later, they got married. And then a week after that, he went to the war. So I know someone who, and they stayed married till they passed. So they were married for many, many years. And again, even their relationship, the dynamics of it changed over the years because we grow. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm watching this video with Kiki, and what I was getting from it is she's still the same woman he met, meaning her insecurities and her fears that she came to the table with on day 1. Here we are, 7 years, 7 kids, 8 years, 9 years, whatever it is, and how many other kids later, and you really still feel the same way. If you can say, I still don't trust people, I never trusted people for like 10 years, someone is going to love you, trust you, be there for you, go to bat for you, be committed to you, and now we had this issue, and all of a sudden you back to day 1, and was this just a waste of time?
I wouldn't say it was a waste of time. I do think she definitely needs some help, but it's really, it's nothing else anyone else can do. She has to do it for herself. And if she doesn't realize that she has to do it for herself, she's going to always be in a situation. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he gets custody of the children because of her mental status.
At this point, I really think her mental status is detrimental to everybody, most especially her children. I don't want to see them ripped away from her, but I think for the greater good, until she seeks and gets the help that she really, really needs and deserves, nobody can come in her life and love her out of this. No. And we talked a few weeks ago about mental health issues. And as a community, people of color, we tend to take mental health issues for granted. But part for her is I feel that she has undiagnosed mental health issues, whether it's PTSD, anxiety disorder, I don't know what it is. But whatever her issues may be, no one is going to be able to love her out of it. She is going to have to be proactive in betterment in order to get better. She can't expect someone to carry that burden. And I think it will transfer off of him carrying that burden to
the children.
If she winds up their sole, the custodial parent, that, dependency issue onto them. And then they don't get to grow and breathe.
No. And I think that's what he was alluding to when he said it is toxic for the kids. And he doesn't want to subject that to that emotional stress anymore, because that baby, she got issues. For real, for real.
And if the kids see that and they think that that's normal, then they seek equally abusive relationships, thinking that that's how it's supposed to be.
Right. Right. And Karen says she thinks that she has some unresolved issues, which yes, we know. Then she carried him into the relationship and he thought he could fix her.
Yes.
I don't know if he thought he can fix her. I think he thought that with them going to counseling and praying and going to church, that it would resolve themselves. She would resolve the issues. I think that he thought if he was her protector and he protected her, that it would be easier for her to come to grips that he's not that guy. He's not her ex. He's not all the men that abused her. He's not all the men that hurt her. So I don't know if he thought he can fix her. I thought, how we get as women, we want to show this man that I'm just the best woman in the world. So he would have no doubts that either he's going to marry me, we're going to do whatever it is you want him to do. He's not going to have any doubt because I'm going to do everything tip top. So he would know that I'm just that good. And it didn't work out for him at all. At all. That situation did not work. And it's just sad because, again, there are almost 9 kids involved. And it could be a traumatic situation for them because we don't know what they've seen that have left them with bad, sad memories and all of that. So it's tough. It's a really tough situation, especially when you decide to bring the public so openly into your relationship.
I think that
her part in the demise of their relationship. We're not on anyone's side. I don't know if you've ever she didn't trust him. So everywhere she had to go or she went, he had to be there. But now, at some point in a relationship, he had to come to a decision whether or not he can continue to deal with this. Should he have left 4 or 5 kids ago? Maybe. But he decided to leave now because he's had enough. So not saying that she's innocent or he's innocent. It's just that this is the result of, number one, somebody being hurt and always the victim and not thinking that they need any help, and someone being tired of being their dumping board and their punching bag, and decided that this relationship is not working at all, period.
I totally agree. Trying to fix her. He was the night of mama. He was going to get on the white horse, and he was going to save the day. And again, as most of us have probably done, you meet someone, and when you hear their story, and their story is so sad or so heartbreaking, and it hear me? Hear me?
Now I can.
You hear me now? Okay.
Hello out there? Can you say something?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
It's so sad and so, so heartbreaking. You want to be the person who made a difference in their world. You want to be that person who proved to them that everybody isn't out to just get you. Everybody isn't out to. You are paying the cost for what someone else did. It's like when you move into an apartment and get a new refrigerator.
I think Hurricane Irma is over there at Coach House. That's why we can't hear her.
That's ugly.
Well,
I mean, we have bad weather over here. I apologize if I'm breaking up. We trying to push through the storm.
The pre-storm.
I got my pre-storm supplies. What about these craisins? The pomegranate juice. They're really good. You should try them.
They eat them all the time. I eat them with peanuts and almonds.
They're really good. I really like. These are my pre-hurricane supplies. My craziness. So you should have. But anyway, moving back to the story. What could he have done better? What do you think, Nikki? What do you think he could have done better?
What could he have done different? Anybody? Yeah, I think what he could have done different.
Yep.
One thing, that's what I was going to say. I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, they're married. They're supposed to work this out." That's what married couples do. And I say to that again, you don't know how much working out he's tried to do. We don't know. I just know of 2 times they've been to counseling on television, but throughout the 7 years, I'm sure they've been to counseling numerous times. And we know that sometimes marriages just don't work. Sometimes you're not even married to the person you're supposed to be married to. Could he have left sooner? He absolutely could have. Would that have made this any worse in her mind? No. If he had left after child 1, before child 1, after child 3, in her mind, she would have still been the victim. So I don't think it matters when he left, what time he left, what time of the day, what year. This would have been the same result. He left before, especially when R&B Divas was on. This would have been a major production in her life. Because at that point, I think she had a very down. So I don't know if he could have done anything different. Viewers, do y'all think he could have? Y'all quiet now.
Yeah, I see. I think that, you know, he, and I would say to anyone, you have to set realistic goals for your and timelines for yourself. Even if you know you're in a relationship and you're dealing with someone who it has been very difficult for them to be productive or to get past whatever their issue is, then you have to say to yourself, like, at what point do I hold myself accountable to say, for me, enough is enough?
Right.
You know, and not continuously be apologetic. Monica, are you back with us?
I think I am.
We can.
It's still a little strategy. I don't know. I guess it has something to do with the rain or something here.
I see lines across the screen.
Yeah.
That's serious.
I don't know if you guys can see or hear me.
No, we see the that look like the screen when the TV about to go off the air. Oh, she's gone. So Karen says, I'm sure they tried. He probably reached his limit. Think he mentally checked out a long time ago. I agree. I think he's been gone a long time ago, mentally. You know, I think he wanted to make it work. And again, from his video, he loves her. He really, really loves her.
He had to. Like, who would take that and not? But my question is, did he love himself? You know, at some point he had to love himself enough to say, you know, I can't do this anymore. The same advice he would give a woman. If she was in a situation like that, at some point you got to love yourself enough to say, this is just not working. If he tried with all he had to love her, to be there with her, to show her that he's going to be around and love her and love those kids, and he's committed to this family, and she wasn't receptive to say, or even conscious enough to say, I need to go get some help for me.
Mm-hmm.
In my life, who loves me, who loves our children, who's been by my side, and yet I still feel this unsettling insecurity. These fears are still eating away at me. I gotta go get some help for me so that I can be better for us.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't willing to do that. This video, the video she put out, says to me that she's still not willing. That she still feels like she doesn't have to do anything and she's done everything right. And the nerve of him to not want to be her anymore.
Yeah.
So now America, I'm throwing him to the wolves. Y'all have at it. And in the commentary that I read, it's like every woman who's been hurt by a man for whatever number of reasons jumped on the bandwagon. How dare he do her like this?
Mm-hmm.
But how many people in her circle who are close to her, how many people checked her on her madness?
Right.
And how many of you have been checked on your madness in a relationship, and somebody who cares about you and the survival or the success of your relationship said to you, you need to stop tripping. This person is trying to do this. You need to go get some help, because somebody needed to, and it shouldn't have been him at that point. Somebody else needed to love her enough to say, sis, friend, cousin, daughter, you need help.
Yeah. I know on the show, a couple of ladies tried to say that to her. And because she's so far gone, she's defensive about everything.
Yeah. I heard her continuously saying, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I've been through. No, I don't. But I see what you're going through right now.
Of what you're putting him through.
Exactly. I see this right now. And I know that this way is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
All her hurt is validated. All of what she went through that past relationship is validated. Not taking from it. But what the destruction that she's creating right now is also valid.
Mm-hmm.
And no amount of love he could pour into that pot was going to take away her needing help. And sometimes we got to be good enough women, strong enough women, powerful enough women to just simply say, I need help. I need this for me.
Right.
Because when we're better in here, then we're better out there. We better to our kids. We better with our spouses, in our relationships, on our jobs. We are better everywhere else when we're good in here and in here. Nobody else can give you that.
No.
You truly got to go get that. And if you know something is just hounding you and holding you down and back from it, you got to say, for me first, I got to do this for me. And if anybody's listening and and you know that no matter how much somebody is loving you, no matter how many relationships you've been in and how many people have tried to love you, something in you is not letting you trust, then at some point you got to say, for me, I got to get better in here and I got to get better right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be
dynamic. You are a friend of that person. If you are a real friend, you need to tell them that. I know some women don't want to hear it because a lot of us don't want to hear nothing that we ain't doing right. But if you are a friend, you will tell your friend, listen, do you think the way you talk to him is right? Do you think how you yelling and screaming at the kids and this, that's not cool. Maybe you need to take a break. Maybe you need a breather. Maybe you just need to talk to somebody. Other than me, other than your other girlfriends, maybe you need to talk to somebody professionally. Because, we all have that girlfriend. And someone's like, child, that's just her. I don't even want to say nothing because she's going to get mad and she's going to get, well, let her get mad. Mm-hmm. Let her get mad. Okay. She's going to get mad. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you, friend, because I love you and you could be mad at me, but this is what's going on. Now, if you don't want to have your man or your husband much longer, then keep on doing what you're doing. But I promise you, if you keep on going down this route, he ain't going to be there.
I agree.
I don't know if too many women, I know some women, again, have tried to tell Kiki that, but I think a lot of people just, after a while, they just let it go.
And they start communicating, they start sharing that same information amongst themselves, mm-hmm. but they don't say it to the person they need to say it to. I think that being a friend, a sister friend, sometimes you got to have that hard conversation and just say, something ain't right here. And it's you this time. It's you. That doesn't mean I'm going to call you out in front of him or her, but it just means that we need to have this conversation and I need to say this to you. And if me telling you the truth is going to test the limits of our relationship as friends, then maybe we weren't friends to start with.
Exactly.
But there's no reasoning. There's no way we should continue to just operate in this mode where we let things just go unchecked, knowing that your friend, this lady who wants and deserves all this love, is just pissing it away for whatever reason. And if it's a mental health issue, we cannot be afraid to seek and receive and accept help because it's out there.
Right.
It's not against God. It's not against, it's out there. Because being good in here and being good up here is important to being good out there. So you can then recognize if you needed glasses, you go get glasses so you could see. If you got high blood pressure, you take the high blood pressure pill and you slow down on the bacon. That's it.
Some of y'all do. Most of y'all don't. Y'all still eat bacon and bags of chips.
You slow down on the bacon and the Funyuns. You slow down.
A little bit.
When it comes down to our mental health, we so apprehensive asking for and receiving help for something that needs help. This lady is suffering, not at the hands of her husband, but at the hands of her mental instability that is not allowing her to really see her world clearly. And that's scary. That's scary, because unchecked mental health issues turns into those people we see living outside talking to themselves.
Yeah.
The homeless people are not just people who don't have a place to go because they didn't pay their bills. Duh. A great number of our homeless population is suffering from a mental health issue that went undiagnosed or untreated.
Yeah. You know, we're going to say, oh, she had a beautiful voice. Now she just sleeping on a bench. She has such a beautiful voice, but she's sleeping on a bench now because she won't go get any help. And maybe if he does get custody of the children and she's by herself, maybe at that time she will realize or think that she needs to get the help or some help. You know, maybe it can be a court order that, hey, in order to get your kids back, you have to go through these classes, or whatever the case needs, whatever it is, she really needs to get some help. I hope that he can get custody of the children, and maybe there will be a court order that she has to get these classes and take all this, whatever she needs, because she definitely needs it. Definitely needs it. Because no relationship is ever going to work for her.
No.
Ever.
No. And that's sad. Kiki, I hope that this video finds its way to you, because, girl, we love you. And as an artist, I know that most artists, you know, they call them suffering artists, like tortured souls. She's an amazing artist and an amazing woman. But this needs help. This is not anyone pretending to know all this. From what we have seen, you need more help than the man who loves you can give. No one person can just pour enough into you until you reach and get the help that you need. Now, with that being said, I just saw a message about St. Martin, that 95% of the island has been basically destroyed. Did you see this? Did you get this alert?
No, I did not.
So
they don't have any. It's going to take like weeks for them to get cell coverage and all that other stuff, and weeks for lights and stuff like that.
We are in South Florida, and I know the last time we had a devastating hurricane was Andrew. That was 25 years ago. Now, this storm is not a joke. We make light of a lot of things. We have a good time. Joking about our snacks and our supplies. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are asked to evacuate, please, 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 do not take it for granted. Evacuate. A lot of people in Houston, as we have seen, wound up stranded or, injured, or some even lost their lives, who are not taking this seriously. If you do not have gas in your car, get up at 5 a.m., get to the gas stations. The lines are not long at 5 o'clock in the morning. Go get your gas. Your supplies. If you are in a low-lying area, if you are in the Keys, get out.
You should already be gone if you're in the Keys.
Gone. If you are east of I-95 headed towards the beaches, right now is voluntary evacuations. Start your evacuating procedure. Start getting out.
And
don't try to take.
If they stay and the winds get up, sustained winds 50 miles per hour, they will not come and get you if you're having a medical emergency. They cannot. Once the storm hits, and if any winds sustained at 50 miles an hour, that's not even, I think that's a category 1 hurricane, and she's going to hit us at a category 4. So you will be stuck.
If you have medical conditions and you do not have your medications enough for at least a month, call in your prescriptions, get your medications now. If you know you have a condition that you need electricity, you got to plug in your oxygen tanks or whatever it may be, get to a safe location. Go to a shelter, find out where your nearest shelter, and contact your doctor. They may even admit you into a hospital.
Right.
Do what you need to do, and take care of your pets as well. The dog food is getting slim in the grocery store, so get your pet supplies, get your water, I did my laundry. You want to have clean drawers. I don't know why I feel like you need clean drawers, but I hope everybody got the clean drawers.
You won't have, I don't have no drawers. I'm in the house. What do I have no drawers for? Child, anybody got clean drawers. If you ain't got wait. So listen, if you ain't got no running water, you just gonna have funky body parts and clean drawers.
You can get baby wipes and wipe your body parts, but you can't keep pulling up them same stinky drawers for the next 2 weeks.
Just don't wear none. Who wants really?
God. Well, what if you have your ladies' time, your monthly?
Well,
you
then
need some drawers.
That's the only time. But other than that,
have you some clean underwear. When the barometric pressure begins to drop, a lot of weirdness happens. So even if it's not time for your cycle, it may still come on. If you're pregnant, come on, ladies. Thick girls, come on. Don't be out here pregnant and not doing what you need to do. And get you some clean drawers. Don't listen to Nikki. Get some clean drawers. That's important.
If you have special needs right now in the city, in Miami-Dade County, the special needs shelter is FIU, the college, Florida International University.
Which campus?
I don't know which campus.
Okay.
They haven't posted that yet, but if you look online, especially at WSBN, they have a site of all the shelters that will start opening tomorrow.
Okay. So I pray that you guys are safe. This storm is 400 miles wide, which is the distance from Miami to Tallahassee in diameter. So the entire state of Florida will be impacted at the same time. If you're in Miami thinking you're just going to run to Orlando, no, not a good idea.
Right.
South Carolina started to get some. Georgia's getting warnings. So, just be vigilant at this point. Do what you need to do. Fill up your tanks, fill up your gas cans, get charcoal if you have a grill, get your medications if you need it, and keep everything charged up and stay safe.
Yeah. Yes.
It's that time again. I don't know if we'll be back on the air next week, Wednesday, depending on what the storm looks like. But I love you all. So we will see you as soon as we can after the storm. In the meantime, in between time, this is Coach Keish. You can follow me on Instagram at @TheCurvy-Alchemist. And Nikki?
And this is Nikki. And check on your girl. Y'all know we're going through a hurricane. I'm just saying, check on me. Ask me, hey, girl, y'all all right? You good? Check on me. You can find me on Instagram at @THEE_Nikki Dollaz, DOLLAZ. So, just remember, check on us. That's all. Just check on us. Every now and then.
And if you find some oatmeal pies, and you could just pick those up, it'd be greatly appreciated because we can't find oatmeal pies down here. That'd be great. That's a hurricane supply because oatmeal pies don't never go bad. So that was it.
Okay.
Have a good night, guys. Love you.
For watching and all your comments. Love you.
Thanks for watching. Love you. Good night.
Night, everybody.